Alright, so brake calipers, when you're changing out your brakes, you know that you have to squeeze this sucker back into place so you can get your caliper back on, and it's a pain in the butt. There's special tools, there's a lot of different ways that you can do this, squeezing it back. Obviously it can't be done by hand, so I'm going to show you a way to do it with just whatever you have on hand. Like I said, there's a lot of different ways, but this is the way that I just kind of figured out with what I have. For this, these are just some pieces of 1x4 wood. I pulled these off of an old used pallet, so it didn't cost me a thing. Those, a hammer, and just some flat metal tools that you can use to pry with, have a sharp end. Even this right here, I can use this to help wedge. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to put the piece of wood in here, and then we're going to slowly add wedges, and that's going to cause this thing to press back, and it really doesn't take a whole lot of strength. So here we go. One piece, shove another piece. Ooh, this one got a little bit more room than the last one I had. Let's see if this will fit a third piece in it. Nope, not yet. So, and see, all I gotta do is pry these two pieces apart. And the first thing I can do is take a piece of wood and shove that in there. And so these are held in place pretty well. And then I can take this piece of wood and slide it up. And as I slide this thing up, it's acting like a lever, and it's just applying more and more force against here and against here, spreading these pieces of wood apart. So I'm gonna take a tool, shove it down on the narrow end over here. Shove another piece of wood in here. If you find that you're not spreading it out wide enough by sticking a tool in, just try to slide it up, jam it up, use a hammer, and kind of help work it up this way. The closer to here you get with something that's too thick to fit, the more pressure it's going to apply. So you see I just loosened up this tool. I have enough room now to take one of these pieces of wood. I'm going to use this one because it's closer to the caliper. I'm going to rotate it down. Use the hammer. And you see I couldn't fit that piece of wood in there before. And you see how much I've compressed that caliper now. It's gone back a good ½ inch. So we're going to continue on. Same thing. So a screwdriver, whatever you've got that's good and heavy that can take a little bit of a beating. The one thing I can tell you, be careful with your caliper and this brake line. These things are really tough, but just a forewarning. All right. See, I've pressed that thing almost all the way back in there now. Handle the tool. I'm not going to strike with the metal end, I'm going to strike with this plastic end. A rubber mallet works too. Then I'll go on to the other side, press it up some more until, voila, we've now compressed the caliper all the way. You watch now. I can pull out these tools. There you go. Caliper is fully depressed. That is how you redneck things. Bye.